Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. We're looking at Luke chapter 12, and the Lord was rebuking the Pharisees for their hypocrisy. And so he dealt with the religious crowd, the religious leaders, the scribes, the lawyers, and the Pharisees. And then he turned to his disciples in verse 1. He began to say to his disciples, and he's warning them of the leaven of the Pharisees. Now, as we come down to verse 4, and he says, "And I say to you, my friends." It's as if Jesus been in the house with the Pharisees. He goes outside. He begins to speak to his disciples. And then the crowd is everywhere. And he says, "My friends." So those that will listen as friends of God, he has a message for them. And that message is, do not be afraid of those who kill the body. And after that, they have no more that they can do. But I'll show you whom you should fear. Fear him who, after he has killed, has power to cast into hell. Yes, I say to you, fear him. And so he makes it clear in verses 6 and 7 that God cares for us too. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins, and not one of them is forgotten before God? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not fear, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. And so, there are several things about fear that we need to understand today. One, fear is an emotion that God created us with. And there's a proper kind of fear, a good kind of fear, a fear that keeps us from going into dangerous situations and places, a fear that makes us run when we should run and get away from danger. There's a good kind of fear. But then there's a bad kind of fear, a fear that paralyzes us, and a fear that makes us hypocrites. And Jesus was dealing basically with this sin of hypocrisy. And so one of the major fears we all face is we fear what our friends might think about us, or they might say about us. And so we become hypocrites. We want to please them. We become people pleasers rather than God pleasers. And so we fear the thoughts of our friends, the attitudes of our friends. We fear what we might do that is right, that'll cause our friends not to like us anymore. And we become a hypocrite, and we go along with the crowd. We follow a multitude to do evil. Don't know how many guys, I used to go to prison every Sunday morning for years, meet with the prisoners. Sometimes I say, what happened that you got into here? And what took place? And they would make the statement, well, I was with a friend. I was with a friend. In the book of 1 Samuel, it says that, 2 Samuel, it says that Amnon, the son of David, he had a friend. It happened to be his cousin. And this friend gave him terrible advice, and he wanted to do something that he shouldn't do, and this friend led him astray. Yeah, we fear what our friends think about us. And then we also notice we fear what our enemies can do to us. Fear not them that can kill the body. And so Jesus is saying, don't do that either. And then we might also fear that maybe God really doesn't care about me. God doesn't have me in his mind and in his heart. And this passage makes it so clear. We need to understand the soul is more important than the body. Time is not as important as eternity. The soul only lasts, the body only lasts for a period of time. It's temporary housing. And God's going to give us as believers a new body one day. But our soul is eternal. And we do that which pleases the soul rather than that which, pleases the body than that which pleases God, as we give our souls, our lives, our hearts to him. And so Jesus makes it really clear in this passage. God cares about sparrows that fall from the sky. He notices one that dies. He has the hairs on your head all numbered, and that means he keeps not only count of them, he knows each one, and when it falls out and is replaced by another. That's amazing. Your God cares for you. And if he cares for the sparrows, he cares about the numbers of hairs on our head. Don't you know you are much more value than the sparrows or the hairs on your head? He cares about you and your soul. And so, my friend, today, fear him. And the fear of man brings a snare, but whoever puts his trust in the Lord shall be saved. Proverbs 29:25. And I'm telling you, that's who we need to fear. A good fear, the fear of God. Well, God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day.